Your lady was short-lived.
It's too far away. I don't have a target.
Hello, just doing Black Temple time walk. Died on the first boss. The tanks seem to have some issues with aggro in here. I tanked it earlier on and had a demon hunter that didn't really seem to know what he was doing the whole time and kept pulling stuff, losing aggro, so I switched tank halfway through and tanked the rest of it because it was just too annoying dying on every single boss because you're over aggro, but I don't know. I wanted to go over some of the delve dramatics that happens. Now, when they first released the delves, they were okay to solo, but they were incredibly easy on 5-man content. And now Blizzard did the typical Blizzard thing, which was a huge knee-jerk reaction to a problem that I think wasn't really that big. And then what they did was they made it worse, like twice. So they tried to hotfix it one time, and then it was impossible. Well, it wasn't impossible; it was incredibly difficult to solo. And then the group, I did delves the night before, and then I went to do some delves with my friend the following morning, and we tried to do a 5-man group, and they were basically impossible. So we tried to do the. There's one in Ringing Depths, I forget what it's called, Ringing Deep, sorry, one in Ringing Deeps, I think it's called the Under something, but we couldn't even kill the last boss, and we had a pretty decent group, and it was so overtuned from the Blizzard hotfix that we couldn't even do it. That was the first hotfix, and then after that they did another one which made it a bit easier, but still it was, you know, it wasn't mechanically difficult, it was just overtuned, so things were hitting massive amounts of damage. Oh, here we go, they've ninja pulled the boss. And you know, you just get one shot by stuff, and my brand was capped like 38. So I spent a couple of days just figuring out how to do them solo. Like, obviously they're really easy to solo on my Death Knight. Just do play tank or and Holy wasn't too bad. But then when I tried to solo them on my Paladin, struggled somewhat as Retribution, but again, play Protection absolutely fine. Then I came to do them on my Priest, and the Priest was a real challenge. So because my Bran was quite high level, I went in there with Bran as DPS, and I mind controlled mobs and healed Bran, and basically used Bran to clear the whole thing, which was fine. But it was really tedious at points when, if Bran died, I was in big trouble as playing as Holy like. And then that was the second hotfix, and the third hotfix. Then there was a bug. There was a bug where Bran was getting buffs from the mobs and doing mega damage. So what they did was they nerfed the damage. Well, they didn't nerf it. They removed the bug, and then they made it so Bran had 125% increased damage. But he was doing way less damage than he was before, which was disappointing. But then after that, it seems now... What the hell? It seems now that it's kind of not too bad now. I'm quite enjoying it now, because basically if you run with Bran as a healer, you really have to make some stupid errors to die on an 8. And also as well, I've had a bit of a problem with the maps, because for some reason I think my Death Knight's cursed. So I've done about 90 delves, and I've got 2 maps on my Priest, 2 maps on my Paladin, 1 map on my Hunter, and my Death Knight's done the most delves, and I've got 0 maps, which is really, really annoying. I got super annoyed about it. I know it's only... Oh, just died. These tanks, man. I got super annoyed because everyone in my guild was getting loads of maps, and I was, you know, they were going, oh look how many maps I've had, and then I'm going on Reddit and seeing people having the same problems, not getting any maps. But I swear my Death Knight's just broken. It's just a broken character with like stupid RNG. I don't know. But that was really annoying, because I just wanted, if I got 1 map I'd have been satisfied, but I'm still yet to get one, and my Death Knight's probably done. My Death Knight's done 4 delves every day pretty much since we could do them. So that's quite a lot, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, now they're kind of in a good place where if you run with Bran as healer, it's seems pretty fair and reasonable. But again, like, I really hate how Blizzard seem to try, well, I don't really know how to explain, but they kind of bend the knee to these bottom feeder players that are really, really bad and complain. I mean, the state of the WoW community is the fact that people complain about everything, literally everything. They complain, anything Blizzard do, and they complain. Like, I made a video for the 20th anniversary event stuff, and they released those new Shaman models for Ascendance, which Ascendance has had the same model from Cataclysm since Cataclysm, and it's so old and tired looking. But I thought the new ones looked really cool. I mean, obviously they're not, you know, they're not amazing, but it's much better than what we had. And all people can do is complain about it, and I'm like, damn, you know, they give us something nice and fresh. I mean, no, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's better than what it used to look like. And they're like, you know, I don't know. But again, I feel with the delves, I think Blizzard should have just left them and done nothing, and then it would have been the same. But instead they messed with them, made them impossible, and then made them broken, and then finally got them to a reasonable standard when they could have just left them. I mean, people are doing them easier in groups, boo-hoo, like, you know, it's just do it in a group, you know. But I don't understand sometimes. It's like with Myst, when they did Myst Remix, they had this issue with people farming frogs, and you had this cape that you could upgrade, and you could just kill frogs like for hours and get your cape to a stupidly high level. And then Blizzard freaked out about it, rolled back a bunch of people's capes, nerfed all of the farming things when they'd pop up, and I just thought, like, what's the point? Just, if people want to farm frogs for 18 hours a day and get a stupidly high cape, just let them do it. What difference does it make? I don't think really it does them any favours trying to appease these people that play the game, that play Warcraft, and they're like, oh, I only play for an hour a day, but it's not fair that I can't get all of the stuff all the people that play for 18 hours a day. But I mean, it's a fundamental part of an MMO, really, is that people that know life in MMO are going to be ahead of the people that don't know life the game. It's just the way it's always been. I mean, you know, and if you want to know life a game and spend 18 hours farming frogs or cranes or whatever it was in Remix to get your cape super high so you can do mega DPS in the raids and stuff, I don't really see the issue. But I don't think it's healthy for the game to like constantly stamp out all of these things for people that cry that it's not fair when they're probably not going to even get that far in the game anyway. But like, the good thing about the they called them froggers. The good thing about the froggers in Mist is that when you did join the raid and you had 3 or 4 froggers in there, you'd absolutely destroy the raid and you'd be over in minutes. You know, bosses would be like 20 seconds. You'd go into Siege Rogomar, you'd do the whole thing, and it'd be super easy because of the people that had the buff capes. I don't know. But anyway, here we are. We're on the 3rd day of the Mythic Plus being out. I've done some 4 pluses on my Death Knight. The only one I haven't done is Siege so far. They seem okay. Seen lots of people complaining about tuning issues, but I mean the 4 pluses all seem pretty reasonable to me. There were some parts that caught me out, like when I did City of Threads, there was a boss in there that I didn't expect to be as difficult as it was. A big jelly man. I think it's the third boss. Yeah, it's the 3rd boss. I didn't expect the jelly man to be as tough as because he was a joke in M0, but he really punishing in the 4 plus I did. It's also nice to go back to Necrotic Wake and Mists of Turn-Aside. I really enjoyed Necrotic Wake in Shadowlands. Even though Shadowlands sucks, Necrotic Wake was fun because you had those spears that you could use in the orbs, but the orbs have been the orbs have been nerfed, so they're not as good as they used to be, which is quite sad. And then we've also got a mechanic now where the Shadow Priest lady, I forget her name, Zalatath, appears and spawns these balls, and when the boss fires his flesh hook out to catch the doctor down, to kill, so you can DPS him, sometimes the flesh hook will hit into one of the orbs Zalatath spawns, and then it won't go off and you'll have to wait to another one. I haven't personally encountered it yet, but I've read about it and I've seen a couple of people from the guild complaining about it. I also think there's a lot of FOMO in WoW. People really struggle with FOMO. I mean, I kind of do, but I think I'm quite good at dealing with it these days. I just go, oh, never mind. I'll get it when I get it. Like, I've only done 6 bosses in the raid because I just don't want to. I don't want to sit down and spend hours in a raid. I'm stuck as a ghost. Oh man, what can't I get out this ghost for? I don't really want to spend hours in a raid. Soul Cleaver. I want a Soul Cleaver. What is this crap? I can't get out of this ghost thing. Oh, mate. What was that? What was I saying anyway? I got turned into a ghost on Gorfiend and then couldn't get out of it, and then died when I ran far. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, like I was saying, there's some guys cutting the trees outside. It's tree trimming season. I've taken it kind of slow. I didn't really want to spend. I didn't want to like I did some of the, like I said, I did some of the raid in normal, but the second from the last boss seems crazy with all the mechanics it's got. And I haven't really got the time, or I don't want to waste the time in hours in the raid.
It's too far away.
To get no loot, and you know, I'm going to do it with my guild on Sunday anyway, so they know all the mechanics, and I can just go to that. I used to Mythic Raid, but I can't be bothered anymore. It's too much work, and I just like, you know, 3 days a week of Mythic Raiding, and then you just struggle, especially when you work in and all the other stuff you got going on. Don't really have time to enjoy the game, so I just go with my guild to social raids on Sundays for the people that aren't in the Mythic Raid team, and then the Mythic Raiders bring their ults and such, and it's good fun. Good fun. So I'll join that and then steal the bosses then, and we'll get to heroic eventually. Then I can do it on heroic. Plugins just so time consuming at the start. I mean, even at the even towards the end of a tier, you know, you can get some good raids, but most pug raids still struggle on the bosses that require lots of coordination. And the Silken Core has got this mechanic where there's an egg and you have to like draw a trip wire with 2 players across to trip the bug up, which is just, don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think the delves are finally sorted. I'm pretty happy with Mythic Plus. I'll do some more on the weekend. One of the nicest things was that the fact that you don't have to do all a bunch of extra stuff in the War Within to basically the rep. There's a bunch of quests with weekly rep, and you don't really have to. Oh my god, what is going on here? Damage from my bubble. So I was looking at my death now. I was like, I should do the weekly rep stuff to get my renown up. and then I realised that I could just go on my crappy alt and do them and potentially get some gear out of the chests that you get and get the renown, so I can just ignore all of them on my main, which is really nice, and just do them on characters that they'll be beneficial for, which I thought was nice. It's been such a long time where the game's been so not anti-ult, but so punishing. Like when you have to repeat quests and refarm things, and like for example in BFA you had the neck with the essence slots in it and you had to refarm all of them, and the same with conduits and shadowlands and legendaries and all these things. If you wanted to make another one, it feels really, really good. I'm really excited for the World Soul Saga. I think it's going to be really good. I think I'm going to make an Earthen soon and level one of them up. I don't know what class though. I've already got all the classes. Probably a Shaman because it's earthy, I guess. But yeah, I think it's been really good so far, this expansion. What else is there to cover? So the delves are all good, Mythic Plus is all good. I've not done much of the raid. I mean, one thing I wasn't a big fan of the raid, there seems to be an awful lot of trash in the raid between some of the bosses. And it seems to be really spaced out, like you have to fly around and stuff, which I thought was a bit silly. I've still yet to kill it. I think I'm going to try and do it on because the story mode's out now, so I'm going to do it on story mode. I'll do it on story mode because that's out now, so I think I'll do that soon. I'm really excited about the 20th anniversary event now. That's going to be mint. Can't wait to get them. Those the updated tier sets. Amazing. Looks so damn good. And the ones for the monk and the death knight and the evoker look really cool. So my new strategy for leveling up is just to get the gathering skills and just gather herbs and ores to level up, and then just sell it all, make about 50k a level, which is pretty good. And I figured I might as well sell it while it's selling, because it's inevitable that it's all going to drop down to being worthless in the near future, where all the herbs will be, you know, 1 gold and the ore will be worth 1, you know, like towards the end of Dragonflight, the ore was like 50 silver for a bit of ore, maybe a bit more. But yeah, and I saw a thing as well saying someone reckons WoW's got like 7 million players at the minute, so I think this expansion is going to go down really well as long as they keep up. As long as they don't make the story too whack like they did in... It was just a bit cringe in Dragonflight, wasn't it? I mean, those 3 dragons were cool, but I wasn't really that interested. And then Shadowlands was a terrible story. Absolutely terrible. I feel like crafting took a bit of a hit with expansion as well. I think people, because the system's out now and the system's brand new in Dragonflight, most people didn't really know it too well, and I think now a lot of people have just min-maxed the hell out of the thing, and obviously everything's selling at a loss on the auction house, and I've got plenty of gold, but I'm not paying 5k for a flask. Forget it. Not paying 50k for a ring enchant. Absolute nonsense. The concentration system is nice though, because I've been making some flasks and selling them for cost me about 4 or 5k max, and then the flask sells for 6k each, which has been pretty good. Can we get a res? Can we get a res? Oh yeah. Oh, don't need legs. Need leggings, Anakin. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Who's Mo? Mo, Ramsey. Roll for mine. Boys. Who won? Pythonia. Pythonia. Give you legs. I was reading some stuff about people talking about bringing personal loot back because of the way loot's been going in the raids. I somewhat agree, because it was super shit in in Dragonflight, where people would just didn't even need it, and they'd be like, if you can press need, just press need, like proper monkey brain stuff. I mean, what was that? Yeah, like, you know, as soon as a window comes up, you automatically press need if you can, and don't think any more of it, really. It's a bit bizarre. And then people will roll on stuff and then try and sell it. Oh my god, they get kicked out of the raid. Awful. But mate, I mean, what we have now is essentially the same as personal loot, but you get to see all of it happen in front of you, sort of thing. Because people could still get stuff they didn't need, and you know. But I don't think they'll ever solve that issue. Wow, really? Oh, I'm dead again. Will we get a res? Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Now I'm dead again. Oh, come on. I'll wait 3 seconds for a res. But yeah, I'm just taking the path of least resistance for gearing up for the minute. Seen lots of people moaning about how toxic Mythic Plus has been, but that's because people's gear's low and people are pushing keys higher than their gear is meant for, and that's why there's a lot of tension, because there's a lot less room for error when you're relying on pure skill, as opposed to brute forcing things with gear. But that's always going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to stress out and I'll probably try and get up to 5 or 6 over the weekend, but I'm not rushing. Not rushing to do it. Just take it easy. That's another reason I don't really like. Well, another reason I quit Mythic Raiding, so I haven't got to spend loads of gold on consumables and get my gear crafted for hundreds of thousands of gold on the day one, like, and you know. I can't stop yawning, sorry. I think they've done lots of the only thing they've handled badly is the delve situation, where they listen to people that, you know. I mean, it was marketed as like a solo thing, but as I say, when they first came out, they were completely doable. But I saw lots of people on the forums going berserk about how hard they were, and I guess for some classes it was not easy, but find a way, don't you? Like how I, figured out how to do it on my priest, because I was determined to make it work. Because I think delves are probably going to be one of the primary sources of gearing up for me this expansion. Because sometimes you just log on and you don't want to spend half an hour trying to get in a group. Don't want to spend half an hour making a group. You can just jump in a delve and you're done for the week, and you get 616 gear in the vault from a delve, which I think is pretty reasonable. I've read as well you can also get tier from the delves. I got this really cool item on my priest called Fate Weaver, which is an offhand, and then if you take it to the Blood Tower in the Spiderland, you can use it and it'll give you a main hand as well. So I ended up with a 610 main hand, 610 offhand, and it's one of the best in the game. And that was my first vault. Shadow Priest, very nice indeed. Then I got a couple of bits of tier, so I've managed to get 2 set on 3 of my characters. I'm a bit sad at how on my hunter BM's not very good. MM's great in a minute though, but I've not played MM for an expansion, so it'd be nice to play some marksman. I'm really interested in playing Arcane Mage as well. I tried to play Arcane Mage in Legion and wasn't very successful at it, but now it's been reworked and stuff. It looks a lot less complicated than it was before. Because before it was basically if you had to move during your burn phase, that was it. Your your DPS was ruined, and then obviously Fury Warrior's up there at the minute. I need to level my. I've got an Undead Warrior on a different server, but I'll level my human on Silver Moon and play it on here. Because it's like top DPS at the minute. I've seen Assassination Rogue's really good for Mythic Plus as well at the minute, so Assassination Rogue's my favourite rogue spec, and it's not been, as far as I can remember, in Shadowlands it wasn't really the best. It was Subtlety, whatever it is, Subtlety, and Outlaw were the ones for Shadowlands. I say Shadowlands, I mean Dragonflight. And then I played some Assassination in Shadowlands as well, but again it wasn't the best one. I just leveled the dots. I love the Garrett Rupture and Vendetta. Someone's buying all the items in the raid for gold. What a madman. But yeah, pretty good. Really happy with it so far. Seems much more It seems much more Warcraft than Dragonflight did. Dragonflight just seemed a bit just had a weird feeling. Dragonflight, like even the intro video for Dragonflight, I was like, what? And that rock guy that climbed up the thing and fell down, and then he never really saw him again. I mean, he was there, but it wasn't really relevant, was he? He was just hanging out. And then flying on the dragons in the cutscene as well. I like the one for the wall with him when they had the dwarf pulling the big metal thing, the big chain on like the furnace. That was really cool. Oh dear. Big damn. Oh. Everyone's blown up. So I'm just kind of finding my feet with the gearing, really. Obviously it's pretty much the same as Dragonflight, but there's still all these bits and bobs that you need to work out. I can't talk you this, sorry. Oh, half the raid's dead. I think all the zones are really cool as well, like Dornagal, the Isle of Dornagal is nice. The city is really cool as well, with all the chains and such. And the dwarfs, very nice. And then Ringing Deeps is really cool as well, like a little underground jungly type hot spring thing going on in there. And then Hallowfall is really, really cool as well. When you first fly into Hallowfall, first time was like, wow, very impressive. That feels very, very Warcraft. And then obviously the Nerubian Spider Zone is, yeah, Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. Like I know there's a part where there's like an airship that's been webbed up. That's really, really cool. Like webbed up to the ceiling, and the city of webs. Is it called that? I think it's called that. City of Threads. Oh, I'm stupid. City of Threads, yeah. Yeah, City of Threads is really nice. I'm not too keen on some of the world event things, like having to do 3 world quests to unlock them is kind of annoying. Because sometimes I don't want to do the world quests. We've seen 2 of the world bosses as well, they're kind of cool. Yeah, as long as the next patch is good, and I think it will be, because we'll have this patch will be probably just before or after Christmas, I guess now, I think. And the early access as well, I really enjoyed the early access. I had the time off work, so I couldn't not do it, because I've not been able to really play a WoW expansion like proper for a long time. But I had the Friday off work, Saturday, Sunday, and then bank holiday Monday, so I basically had like nearly 4 days just no life, which was really nice. And I thought the leveling was really good as well, like it felt nice, didn't feel too slow, didn't feel like a slog at any point. And again, That's another knee-jerk reaction from Blizzard as well. I think it was kind of cheeky of them to nerf the leveling when that when it went official live and it wasn't early access. They nerfed the leveling. I think it's people complain about it being too easy. They complain the leveling is too easy. Then they complain about the delves being too hard, and it's just like the leveling was easy, but you know, I don't understand why you complained about it, because it was just fun. It was just fun. I wish I got some loot to sell this guy, man. Damn. It was just fun. The leveling up was like easy. You could pull a bunch of mobs, kill an elite, and then people are like, oh, I shouldn't be able to solo an elite when I'm leveling up. And it's like, man, it doesn't even drop anything good. Like, why do you even care? You know, this is not how Warcraft's meant to be. And it's like, if you want Warcraft to be like that, where you can't solo a rare and you get killed when you pull 3 mobs, you can go and play Classic, because that's what Classic is for. You can go on Era and play the Era servers and get killed by Hogger. Get killed by Hogger in Elwyn Forest, and then you can make a raid group to go and kill him. Don't know, just my head in. Drive me mad. When people complain about flying, they're like, oh, flying's ruined the game. Well, you can walk everywhere and use your ground mount. You don't have to fly, no one's making you fly. Well, another one that gets me is when people complain about levelling up too fast and not being able to complete a zone. They're like, oh, you do all the... You turn your XP off, mate. I'm pretty sure you can still do that, can't you? Yeah, I'm sure there's an NPC to do that. You know? And there's solutions to all these things. I remember as well when heirlooms were really, really good, and you could just basically be any class and just fly through a dungeon when you're leveling up and be like, pew, 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 pew. Like, especially when you play like Beastmaster Hunter, you just pull the whole, not the whole dungeon, but you just steamroll the whole thing. It was brilliant. And then people are like, I want it to mean something, I want it to be, and then this has made it so it was blooming impossible to do time walking because they tuned it so high, and then they nerfed the heirlooms. So the heirlooms, that's another thing as well about the heirlooms, massive gold sink, and they're essentially useless now, and people spent all that gold leveling them up when now they're just complete dog shit. I never did mine, I did mine a bit. I did mine a bit, but not much. Just too much gold for not a lot, really. Give me some loot, Illidan. You are not prepared. Ow, no loot.